So recently I uploaded my first ever hardcore playthrough video where I recreated The Last of Us in Minecraft. To make this possible, I did pick out a bunch of different mods that I thought would be as close to the series and games as possible. And of course, the least amount of crashes. And it's safe to say that you guys seem to enjoy it. So in this video I thought, why not show you all how you can achieve the exact same thing. Before we begin, my name is Ghostlyy, and if you enjoyed this video or my previous videos, be sure to hit the subscribe button and give it a like. And of course, if you guys have any feedback or questions, please let me know in the comments down below as I reply to as many as I can. Alright, it's time to turn Minecraft into The Last of Us. Enjoy. So with this mod pack, I'd recommend choosing Minecraft Forge 1.16.5 as I'm not too sure on the compatibility when it comes to the later versions of the game. At the front of the list we have a couple of resource packs and visual mods that I would definitely recommend and makes a huge difference when it comes to immersion. These resource packs include fresh animations, which adds a bunch more animations making mobs and other entities seem less static in their movement, similar to what we see in high quality renders of Minecraft, especially the zombies or the undead, which are going to be the main mob in this transformation. Now for the texture pack, I decided to use Stay True. Now this is a resource pack that will keep the same vanilla looks of the blocks but gives them a slight makeover with some extra details. You can notice the difference here between the bookshelves and the crops. This is of course a preference, but if you want to pick something else, that's completely fine. To give a little bit of an update to the leaves, I decided to use Motschen's Better Leaves, which adds bushier leaves, and you can also pair this up with fallen leaves for that extra detail while exploring forests. Trust me, it makes a big difference. For the terrain generation, you can use something like All the Biomes You'll Go, or even Biomes Aplenty to give you more depth in surroundings and more realistic biomes as a whole. And finally we have the Tisso Zombie Pack, which gives the zombies we all know and hate over 1000 different textures, so you won't be running into these clones any longer. This pack also gives zombies different sounds that are actually horrific. When it comes to the shaders for this pack, it all comes down to your preference. I use complementary shaders and made some changes to the world saturation and the fog settings to give it much more of a desolate and gloomy vibe, as this is the apocalypse we're talking about. Now that the baseline for the visuals is sorted, let's talk about the mods themselves. Some of these do require a change in the config file, but don't worry, as even someone as clueless as me managed to do it. Starting with bad mobs, this mod will allow you to change what mobs will and won't spawn in your world, which is going to make a huge difference if all of a sudden there's a creeper flying towards you when you're only expecting the undead. Alex's mobs is a great addition to having more wildlife in your world, but in this specific pack I cut around 80% of the animals out, only keeping crows, bears, raccoons, and a few smaller creatures just to give it a bit more of an emptier feel. Again, your choice what you want to add in. For the structures in cities, I recommend using the Lost Cities and Young Bridges mod. This will give you randomly generated structures throughout your world, giving the appearance of a past life that is no longer around. You can also change the generation type of the cities before starting a world. On top of this, you can add in the Zombie Extreme mod, which will add a lot more variety when it comes to structures, like smaller houses, apartment blocks, gas stations, and even a collapsed bridge. Sometimes these structures can hold very important loot, so it's always best to check every chest you come across, as you never know what you're going to get. Now, when you're exploring the wastelands, it's better to be carrying some camping equipment, just in case you need it. So by using the Comforts mod, you'll be able to easily carry around a sleeping bag or a hammock to make the nights just a little more bearable. On your journey through the apocalypse, you're going to need a place to store all of the loot or valuables that you may come across. Using the Sophisticated Backpack mod, this will give you a much larger inventory space and the ability to place it when needed to act as a sort of chest. This is going to make a big difference. And don't do what I did, where I only realized I could actually craft this like 2 hours into my playtime. Our next add-on will be Enhanced Celestials. What this does is randomly choose a night where it could be a blood moon, a harvester moon, or any other lunar cycle. With the harvest moon, your crops will grow at a double rate if you're lucky, but if you're unlucky enough, you'll get a blood moon, and I'd suggest simply running away. Blood moon? Oh hell no. No. As this will increase the spawn rate of the infected and make them drastically stronger until the night is over. Using Minecraft's base weapons isn't the worst thing you could do in the world, but if you wanted to add in some easily craftable guns that are very customizable, look no further than Mr. Crayfish's gun mod. You're able to craft weapons from pistols all the way up to rocket launchers and miniguns. Although the materials that you need increases the more deadly the weapons are, so bear that in mind. You can also add attachments like sights or silencers to make your weapons way more tactical. Now, the infected in The Last of Us are smarter and stronger than your average Minecraft zombie, so we need to reflect that in our playthrough. The first major zombie change we need is mob sunscreen. This will ensure that zombies will be able to roam and hunt you down whilst the sun is still up, without taking any form of damage from when it's daytime. To make them smarter, we'll be adding in zombie awareness, which makes the zombies or infected pick up on things, like blood scents, sounds you make, the light sources that you have. This means that if you get injured, they can track you from a distance or continue to follow you. Any sounds like opening or closing doors will alert them to your position immediately. Using torches can be risky as well, as they will come to investigate any light source that is placed. Since this is a survival pack, we want to make our survival just a little bit harder. To do this, we can add the Tough as Nails mod, which will factor in thirst and temperature as well as the typical hunger bar, making sure you're hitting all the survival points needed. Be sure to keep these in check, as the infected don't slow down for anything. And the final mod for the zombies' behavior is the Improved Mobs mod. And this is what ties it all together. This mod will make it so each day you spend in the wasteland, the zombies will get harder and harder in difficulty and bigger in numbers. Alongside this, they also have a chance to spawn with tools such as pickaxes or normal axes to break down any blocks you may have placed in a panic to get away from them. Oh, and they can also climb ladders, which is pure nightmare fuel. Some of the optional mods that you can add for a bit more detail in your playthrough are YDMS Weapon Master, Just Enough Items, Project Vibrant Journeys, or Fog Override. So there we have it, a full transformation from Minecraft into The Last of Us. If you guys have any feedback or would like to see more game transformations like this, make sure to let me know in the comments down below. I hope you guys enjoyed this tutorial or guide, and if you did, make sure to hit the like and subscribe button for more of this chaos in the future. Bye!